Hi, my family and I wanted to reach out in hopes of getting some comments and some feedback on dealing with constipation. I have a 26-year-old Rett girl, and recently she's been really struggling with constipation. I'm going to share some things that have helped somewhat in the past and not necessarily much now, in hopes that some of these things may help you, and you may share some things in the comments below on ways that may help us. As a community, we can come together with all types of topics in helping each other, and this is one that's very serious with all Rett girls, for the most part, who struggle with constipation. One of the things that was recommended on this Facebook page was something called Ememeez. I believe I'm saying it right, Ememeez, and this one is a mini enema. So it looks sort of like this, where you twist off the cap and you insert it into the rectum area, and it's sort of like I would say a Vaseline type. And for our daughter, my 26-year-old Rett girl, it did kind of help a little bit at one point. She was passing stool, but not necessarily something that we can probably continue to use. Again, Enemeez Plus, I believe that's how you say it. They're rather expensive. I don't want to say they're 10 to 15, or was it 15 to 20? We bought this one on Amazon. Again, it was recommended, and you only get five mini enemas. So you figure if you're giving your daughter one a day or one every other day, you're going to have to keep reloading on these. But unfortunately, these did not really work for our daughter, but they may work for yours, hopefully. Another thing we tried was, this one is a liquid stool softener called Pediatric, and these are more for, I would say, a child maybe. So you give it to her, by spoon or by a syringe, maybe even mixed with their food. And this was not really working for our daughter, but definitely gave it a try. Maybe this will help your daughter. Again, this is more like a laxative, stool softener liquid that you take. So maybe this will work for you, but it wasn't working for us. Another one that was recommended by a nurse is a capsule. This one is actually a natural capsule. It's made with vegetable. It's a vegetable laxative actually. It's called Senna. And these, if you do try to use them, or if you are gonna consider using them for your daughter, Senna, it's just a little tiny brown pill, I believe, and you've got to give them. You have to make sure you give it to them with plenty of water. So it's just a little tiny capsule. It's for children and adults. And we haven't had any luck with these, so we haven't really used them anymore. It's a laxative, but this was highly recommended by a nurse, and she had told us this will definitely help with your daughter's constipation issues. But for us, it didn't work, and the reason why I'm sharing these things again is because these may work for your daughter, but unfortunately, they have not worked for ours. Another thing that we tried, you may have even tried, is a chewable laxative made by Pedia. This one's again more for children, and these don't work. They're more for children. I think it's from 2 to 5 years old. Well, they didn't work for our daughter, but they may work for yours. But I want to share that one there too. Pedia, a chewable laxative. Another one we tried is a Glycerin suppository. These are more for an adult. I didn't really like using these for my daughter because if you've never seen them before, it kind of looks like a crayon. And at one point, I was like, oh gosh, it's very hard. It's made out of a wax, sort of like a crayon. They're very hard. And I actually one time dumped it in a bottle of water, and it didn't even disintegrate. So I was like, I don't know if I want to keep putting these in my daughter. These have worked somewhat in the past, but it's nothing that I can continue to use on my daughter. Again, there are some dangers when you're using enemas and these types of suppositories. They bring an kind of a unbalance in your good and bad bacteria in the colon area. So a lot of these things we've asked doctors about or nurses, and they said they should be fine to use as a temporary solution. Or if you're going to use things of these, you might want to consider that using them every other day and not every day. Another one that we were using was the Pediatric small liquid suppositories, and these are more for a baby. I would say maybe 2 to 5 years old. These were working quite well for our daughter at one point. So you just take the thing off, and it's you squeeze a little bit of the liquid in their colon, the rectum area, and right away she usually would pass a bowel. But Again, these are for children, and my daughter's 26 years old again, and it says right on the box from 2 to 5 years old. So these may actually work for you. Again, these have worked quite well in the past, but recently, being that these are so small and they're very expensive. I believe you get 6 in a box, and I think it's around $10 a box. I can easily give my daughter 2 or 3 of these, and she may not even pass a bowel. But again, these may work for you. Pediatric liquid glycerin suppositories. It's liquid. It's more of a, I want to say some type of, it's more of a gel, like the salt, like maybe it's a sodium chloride gel. I'm not too sure. Look into them though; they may work for you. Another one that worked quite well for my daughter. I do not have the box. It's made by a company called Fleet. This is for an adult, so the box has 4 of these bottles. You can get them at Target or Rite Aid, and they're rather inexpensive. I think it's $5, and I would give my daughter maybe half of this, and it's mostly just water. And these were working at one point quite well for my daughter, but they have not really worked well lately. And it's important also that I say that when it comes to constipation, my daughter does walk, so she does get a lot of movement and walking around, because I know that without movement, you have tendencies to have passing a bowel. You do have tendencies to have issues with that. Also, my daughter does drink a lot of liquids. Water she don't really like much, but we do give her water. She drinks a lot of Pedialyte. She likes those juices called Honest, which is sort of a low sugar juice. She does enjoy having Yoo-Hoos and like a chocolate drink, a non-dairy chocolate drink. So she does get plenty of liquids. And her diet can be better. It's not really bad. We don't overload her with fiber or vegetables. So she has a pretty well balanced diet. She loves to eat, and I say love. I mean she LOVE, loves to eat. She would eat all day if we let her, but we can't do that, especially when she's having issues passing a bowel. So definitely want feedback from everybody. That's what this is about, is me sharing some things that may work for you, and in hopes that you can comment below and share some things with the Rett families. I see that in the comments on this page that there's a lot of talk about constipation and ways to deal with that. And my daughter's had issues with this in the past. She was hospitalized for something to do with her digestive system in the past. But we don't believe that has anything to do with the constipation she's experienced even more aggressively in the last few months. Like I said, a lot of these products have helped, but gosh, they really don't help all the time. And we're hoping to get answers from everybody out there, because everyone's got recommendations from doctors and nurses too. And her nurse has recommended these things, and other over the counter stuff or prescription stuff, and it's just some of them don't really work at all. So please feel free to comment below and share ways that can possibly help our daughters with constipation. We really appreciate your time watching this. You could feel free to direct message me on my Facebook channel or the one here that is posted on, and we really appreciate your time and your input. Thank you very much.